Hello everybody and welcome back to North End. Today we are going to run you through the changes that have happened on our layout. Now, we didn't want this video to be quite so far off of the other one, but there's a number of reasons why it is. Firstly, there wasn't really much that had been done on the layout until recently, so there wasn't anything to show you anyway. And secondly, we've actually recorded this video about 3 times now, and every single time it seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth, and we just can't find it. So that's a shame, but hopefully this one doesn't disappear. I mean, if you're watching it, it hasn't. And we're just going to run you through the changes that have happened on the layout. So we hope you enjoy it. So the way the video will work is that we will show you the areas that have been changed, and then we will show you a little montage of clips that we recorded onto certain areas throughout the building stage. Okay, so usually in these videos, I would take you from one end of the layout to the other and show you all the different bits that have been done. However, you probably noticed one feature on the layout, probably from all the shots, that is kind of obvious, so I will do this bit first. So if I zoom out a bit, you will see that yes, the back scene has been done. Now, we found the back scene a long time ago, like we said in one of our old videos. We weren't sure where it was, but we found it now, and we've installed what we've got. We've used a spray glue. I can't remember the brand name, but we used a spray glue, sprayed it onto the boards, the wooden boards on the back scene, and then we just stuck the clouds over it. Now, we think it looks very, very nice. Just going all the way along. Especially around here, where it's actually got some grass on it. Now, as you've probably just seen, it doesn't go quite from end to end. Over this end, we do have a gap. Okay, so you can see here that we have the end of the clouds. They come all the way down the layout, as I said before, and then they just end. Now, obviously that's because we haven't got enough back scene, unfortunately. You can see the slightly brown bit there is the glue. The white is paint. Now, what we did with the paint, the reason why that's there, is that we were hoping if there was a slight join, we'd be able to hopefully cover it up a bit and make it look a little less obvious. So once we get a more back scene, it will come all the way around here, round the back corner, along and round the back scene. Round the back scene? Sorry, round the street scene. There we go. Now, we've opted for a completely cloud back scene. And the reason for that is most of our layout, to be honest, is all hills or wall. So if we were to go for anything with any extra bits on it, it wouldn't be particularly useful. The only bit is literally from here over to there, where you would be able to see that maybe there's not actually anything there. So we can just cover that. We can put some bushes there. You can see we've got some bushes there. That kind of covers the fact that there's nothing there. The buildings obviously do as well. But it would look odd if we had houses or something there, or hills, and they were just poking over the top of the back scene. So for example, if we got that hill, then you got some chimneys poking over the top, it would just look odd. So we went for clouds because they look decent. Now you'll notice here, we have a join. There's not much we can do about that. We might be able to get a chimney for there or something like that. Also, this side of the join, there's a funny line down it, and that's where we used a different type of glue to position it. Now, obviously it's not the greatest thing. I think it's actually more obvious on the camera than it is in real life, but it's not too bad. You can ignore it just about, so I think that will be okay. But all in all, the back scene actually looks really good. So this is where the relatively normal layout update starts, I guess. where we go all the way from one end of the layout to the other. And we're going to start with the street scene. And it looks more like a street. These buildings have not been fully completed yet, but they're looking pretty good. These houses here, they're more or less complete. There's a couple of details we need to do, like chimney pots, for example. They have no chimney pots. Interior design, we've got wallpapers on them, but we haven't got any furniture. And I'll come to the furniture in a little while. But mostly, they're complete. Now, you'll see there's a couple of Easter eggs hidden amongst this. This gate here is open. But it's actually open for a reason more than just for looks. It does look good. But the main reason why it's done like that is because the gate was... the gap in the wall between this piece of wall and this piece of wall was actually too big to fit the gate. There was a gap. So in the end, we went for the gate being slightly open so that it actually hides the fact that there's a gap. And it actually works pretty well. As you can see. So we'll come down here. Now, I scratch built this. It wasn't hard. It's literally just a matchstick with some printed signs on it. There you go. Allen and Harris. And it's a for sale sign, as if you couldn't tell. So it's not the highest resolution picture ever, but it does its job. It looks pretty nice, and it just fits the scene. So you look down the street, you can see there's just a house for sale. Now, coming back to this shop, these are all Metcalfe buildings, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Metcalfe have a very specific design, so I'm sure you could work it out. But we saw them and thought, yeah, they look nice. And we made them, and we're actually really impressed with them. Well, I say actually, it makes it sound like we were doubting them. We didn't doubt them for a second. But they do look better in real life than we thought they would. The gates are laser cut, so they're very fine. But it works. It works. You can completely customize them as well. So we've added these bay windows in here, and a double one here, and there's also a porch here. Also, the loft conversion bits are also customizable. You can also do that with the shop, which, like I meant to before, I'll come to now. So, as you can see, they're not finished. They're a long way from being finished. Wallpapers inside we've got, so that's good. Also, we've got carpets as well, as you can see. Interesting colours, but you don't know what kind of person will live in that house. So you don't want something necessarily too plain and boring, because somebody might be a bit of an eccentric. The shops. This one's going to be a post office. You might not be able to tell from the interior. But the interior is actually for a post office. It's got lots of stamps and other things like that. Wrapping paper and other stuff. So it's stuff you would see in a post office. And this shop here, going to be a fish and chip shop. You can all see that though. You can all go in and buy your fish and chips. You can get, I'm guessing that's the price rather than the weight. Is that 6 small currencies from way back when? I don't know. I'm not sure. We haven't got a roof, obviously. That needs to be done. This shop can't quite sit in place yet, which is why it's hanging out. In the end, it will be able to go back in. It will be able to go in. But we just got to finish that. We've got another one of these shops to build, and these houses are practically fully built. Now, at the end of the street here, we have a mirror. Now, it's not my shop, it is just a mirror. Here's a wall. So, it's not necessarily the clearest mirror. We might be able to get another one. Say hello to the camera. So, but it just gives the effect that the street may carry on somewhere. Obviously, certain bits don't work. For example, text would be backwards, and the cars would be driving on the wrong side of the road. but it gives the effect that we were wanting. It also saves us having to put backseeing around that corner as well, because it just reflects the clouds and actually makes them look like they join up quite well. So that's the houses done. They've got no interior lighting yet. They will have some. Here on the end, we're just playing with ideas at the moment, but this is a Hornby monument. So we might have a bit here, because obviously the road can't just come along here where the van is and just shoot backwards, can it? It needs a slight curve in it, which is why we're thinking put the monument in there on a little grassy area at the end of the buildings. Here we go. Now the vehicles are set up how the road will actually look. So once we've got this extra shop in, these houses will actually be another house out here. So it'll probably end about here somewhere, give or take, and the monument will be further up. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to have furniture in the houses, and this is the furniture that we're going to be using. I put the camera on a tripod so that you don't feel seasick, and I can show you these pieces of furniture properly. So here we go. We've got, let it focus if it can. Go on, it's too interested in the ones at the back. But if you couldn't tell, this here is a clock. All of these will be stuck down, so don't worry about them falling over. That's why I laid them down. But we got TV. This here is a fireplace. There you go. We've got a stereo with a record player on the top. Quite old-fashioned, but it'd be quite nice. It will fit for different eras. And also we got speakers. So there's more furniture than this. You do have you've got beds, sofas, kitchen appliances. You got washing machines and cookers. You got scrap versions of them washing machines as well, which is quite nice. You can put them on beside your railway as if they've been abandoned. Loads of different furniture, paintings, rugs. You got doors to leave the room, cupboards, everything. But pretty much everything you could imagine you've got. Now these are, as you might be able to see from this, these are actually cardboard. This one in particular is 3 pieces of cardboard just put together, and then you've got bits that are wrapped around it, and just to give the effect on it. So these come from scale scenes when it focuses. Yeah, these come from scale scenes. They're pretty reasonable price. I think it's something like £3, maybe a bit more, maybe even less. But they're totally worth it. Now, they're a bit messy when you make them up, but that really doesn't matter. You really don't notice it in the buildings. There are some in the buildings, but there's no lights in the buildings, so you can't actually see any furniture. No, you can't really see anything. I just had a look at the windows. But when we got lights on, it would just give the effect that there's something in there that the house is actually lived in, rather than it just being empty, an empty shell. So they're really easy to make up as well. So I'm just going to move you along now to the next bit I need to show you, which is these. Now these are fairy lights. They're I think they're actually from a shop like Poundland or Pound World or something like that. They're literally just a pound shop, set of fairy lights. You probably pick them up from anywhere. We got these at Christmas time because obviously that's when they're most predominant, but I'm sure you could get them at any time of the year. Literally, battery box, switch them on. There, Bob's your uncle. So we can, that allows us to, if we use this building here, we can grab them, and if I put them in behind here, there you go, it lights up the room. And also we could do it downstairs, like so. So it just gives off a nice light. It just doesn't, not too bad a light bleed into the next one. Now, the bulbs may be a bit big, possibly. They may be a bit long. But they're not bad for £1. You get 10 on a strip, so that will keep you going for a while. You can cut the wire as well, because they're only a really small voltage. So if you cut the wire, it will just allow you to use them how you like, and put them wherever you like on your layout. You can change the battery really easily. You can literally just hide this battery box underneath your layout, and then so under this bit, for example, under there, literally just switch it on and all your lights come on. Put them in the random places in the buildings, and then different random window lights come on. So that's good. Okay, so we're going to move on to this last building now on the end. It's obviously an art shop, as you can see. There's a load of paintings in the window just to give it the effect of being an art shop. They sell paintbrushes and picture frames and all that kind of thing. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is that this building is really thin. There you go, it's really thin in comparison to these, at least. There we go. So what we were thinking about doing with this, we bought 2 of these. Now, they're probably, you probably can get them off eBay or something, but they'd be hard to come by in shops, because they actually are part of a magazine. They came as a free gift in Railway Modeller magazine, I think it was. I can't remember which issue it was, but you'll probably be able to track one down. So we bought 2. They also give a demonstration in the magazine of how to make it into just a two-story building. So chop the top roof off and bring the roof lower down. So we're thinking maybe we can have 2 along there, have a path right in front of them, and then the playground in front of that. Either that, or we can put them up this end here, this side of the building, and just have some buildings that are set back. So we're not sure. We might not even use them yet. But both of them ideas we quite like. So we're just brainstorming at the moment. We need to make the other one up at some point. You could get a similar one, actually, from Metcalfe, because this is what they're made by Metcalfe. They were made for Railway Modeller magazine. You can get a similar one. It's like a Tudor, so it's got all the cladding and the wood and everything on it. But we think it looks quite good. So now we're going to move on from this town scene onto the hill. Okay, so this is the same hill that you would have seen in the last video if you watched it, where it was completely white. We shaped it in the last video, and we had the cloth on, the plaster cloth, but we didn't have any of this. Now, we do have a time lapse to show you of us painting it, which I'll probably put on now. There's the paint. As you'll see, it's by Revel. So, without further ado, let's get on to it. So all in all, it's come out really well. You can see all the contours in the land and all the different shapes. This here is the road, which we had, I think we previously explained about that. This is going to be a road. We're going to put some more polycloth in there, and then we're going to do some tyre tracks along this, leading to the bridge there, where the van is sitting on. It probably won't be a van there, because this will be the allotment. So yes, we'll probably end up turning this area into some sort of forest. There's not much you can do with a hilly piece of land, so we can get some trees, maybe some pretty thin ones, for example. We could turn this into a little bit of a wooded forest, which might look quite nice. Maybe we could put some deers or some birds or something in the forest to just give you something to look at. We might even get a scout camp, you never know. We need something on this little ridge here as well. So now we're going to move on to the decorated area of the river. Basically nothing has changed here. I think the bridge might be new. I'm not 100% sure though. Nothing solid, nothing stuck down, all of these buildings. These tunnel vents are Hornby, by the way. You probably saw one up the top here. They're made by Hornby, and we're going to put them in intervals. There'll probably be one about there. I know it's quite close to the tunnel entrance, but we want them in, and we haven't got much of a tunnel. And probably one up here. Now, we'd probably like to put one further down, but you can't really have one in the middle of the road, so we can pretend that the railway curves off from the middle of the road. Either that, or they just removed the tunnel vents. Maybe they've installed a more modern ventilation system. So that's how that works. Them ones, like I say, with the river, basically nothing's changed. Still got the waterfall. Still looking as good as it did. Still got the dead sheep in various places. But we do have an idea of how we are going to do this allotment now. So we'll be back in a second to tell you all about it. So this here that we're looking at is what we're going to use for the allotments. Now it is literally an allotment. We found this by chance on Monorail Direct in one of their sales actually. We were just browsing to see if there was anything else we could find that we might like. And we found this. So this is I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name in German, but it's a farm garden rural kit. So you can see we've got a little fenced area. You see the fences down there around some crops, and the crops are all plastic. I'm not going to open it because it's a nightmare to try and put the box back together, and we're not quite ready to make it yet. Some bits you do have to paint, like these sunflowers, you have to paint the ends of them, so these heads. Just to paint the black bits, you have to paint some of these bits, and you need lots and lots of different glues in order to be able to make these. But actually looking at them, we haven't made it yet, but it does look as though it's going to be quite nice. Comes with everything you see, well, I say everything, it doesn't come with all of this, no it does, sorry, it does come with all this ground dirt, doesn't come with anything outside, all these little bushes and stuff, but it gives you enough that you can actually make this whole thing. What you see here is basically what you get in this kit. There you go, that's what we've got in the kit. That's just a sample of stuff, so you can see, we've got different crops, we've got the pumpkins, the rhubarb, what else we got? We've got lots of different stuff. These here, these are wire springs. Now they are to help you ensure that the plants are as wiggly as you want them. So you can wrap them around them while they're drying, leave them there for maybe a few days or something, and then it will just shape them into that shape. We also have up here, there's a load of animals. Now if I turn the box over again, you'll notice maybe there, it's a butterfly. There's also a snake there. There's another butterfly somewhere else. There's a snake down the bottom. Got to remember this is German, which is probably why the snakes are there. You don't generally get a snake in a UK garden. But there's another butterfly somewhere. You've got to paint them. That's a bit of a bad thing. I can't see how easy painting a tiny butterfly would be in 00 scale. The scarecrow you got to paint as well. But it just comes with a load of accessories. Tools. The people aren't included, I do believe. They're not included. The bench is. The bench is actually out on the layout now. And these little bushes here. So, all in all, from what we've seen of it, it is a really nice kit. We're going to have a lot of fun putting that together. And it should look really good on the layout. Now, the one thing we were worried about, it might look a little plasticky on the layout. However, when we opened it, we were surprised to find that it doesn't actually look too bad. I thought the crops would be shiny. They're not that shiny, so we'll let them get away with that. They look good. We can't wait to build it. And that's what we're going to use for the allotment. Now, you'll have to excuse this next part of the review, looking like a building site, but we're currently working on it, and if anything, it actually adds to the authenticity of it. So, what we're going to show you now is actually, if I can get up, there we go, the yard. The yard has been dramatically changed over the last couple of weeks. We are laying this down in order to put the concrete, the hard standing down for the yard. So you can have all the trucks and the lorries, well. You can have the digger. We've got a digger now, which we're going to use. He's just currently scooping up some of the matchsticks, which are going to be used to hold up the piece that's going to go in the middle, like this. You'll see if we come this end of the track. There are some matchsticks stuck down in the middle of the track. Now that's just to raise it up off the sleeper a little bit, just to give it a more even sticking surface. So we're going to have concrete here, all over this bit, right into that corner there. All of this will be covered in concrete. And we're going to have concrete down the middle of this track, and in between these two tracks. This track and this side will not have anything on them, so these two bits here. But this bit, and this side will all have concrete on them. So if we come up, you can see the shape that we're going for here. Shape the concrete's going to be in. There we go. It's coming to about where them wagons are sitting. Them sea cows. That's roughly where it's going to end. We've got some yard lights, which I'm sure you've all seen before. Except we've had to remove them because the holes are directly underneath this piece of wood here. So we're going to have to re-drill them and move them. And we might even get some different ones. Some that can sit at the back and stand upright like that. So we're looking forward to that. This bit's all been stuck down. You'll see all of these are stuck. These bits are not stuck. We're just getting them together. I'll probably actually stick them after I've recorded this. So you might even see some more on this bit in a minute when I've done it. These are just matchsticks. Cut them down here. These are from, these are just bits of wood. Literally like that. Just painted in grey, stone grey. Get them from probably any hobby shop, just like Hobbycraft or something like that. Wooden matchsticks, same thing, you can get them from pretty much anywhere. Pico buffer, we're going to get another one for this track. We decided to use them. They're not going to be any end of the line lights for these because it's just a small yard and you don't really need them there. So now I'll move on to what's happened with the track work. Because you're probably thinking, well, if we're sticking these matchsticks in the middle of the rail, then doesn't that mean the rail has to be stuck down? And the answer to that question is yes. And yes, it is stuck down. Both these rails of the yard have finally been stuck down. So now what we've got is two rails that go all the way along the edge of the along the yard, and they're equal distance. Now the way we made the distancing is we put a metal ruler between this bit and we just pushed the rails up together. So we did one side first and then the other one. Now we've taken, as you can see actually, sorry, there's plenty of clearance between that. Even the widest trains I'm sure would be able to clear that, so that's what the C-cals are here for reference of the clearance. Now that clearance continues all the way to them buffers and comes all the way down here to about this point, I would say. Before it probably curved about here, maybe a bit further forward, and it'll probably be clipping about here. But now, this is actually where it starts curving, so we've got that much space extra. So it's got to be about half a wagon, maybe a small wagon's length completely more, further kind of thing. So that comes all the way down here. Then they join up and continue on to here. Also, on this bit, there's no wire anymore. There's no wire. Now this bit of track here has not been stuck down. There you go, it's still moving. We need to do that. That will be done probably in the next week. Past the bush. There we go. What we do have though is we've got some bits of wire that go across the joins. I think we might have shown you these before, but they just go across the join and they help to conduct the electricity across. What we've also installed now is these. Now there's two droppers up here, one on each rail, and they link up to droppers on these three rails. Now this one, as you can see, this one, there you go, it's further away than I thought it was. This one's come unsoldered. We need to redo that. That will be done on Thursday this week, so we'll do that again. These two, they've stayed soldered, which is nice. And what they allow us to do, we've got some switches down on the main switchboard, which we can change. We can change the switches and direct the power down the different tracks. So that actually technically means that you can have the loco moving about in this track here, while the point isn't actually set. Because we're not using DCC, we're using DC on this track. This one's like half DCC, this one is full DC. So that's okay. That completely bypasses this point now. Means the power can completely bypass the point, go through onto this track and carry on. So we get a better conduction. Conduction? I don't think that's the right word, but we get to conduct the electricity better down the yard. So that should hopefully stop trains from stalling, because for some reason you go about halfway down the flexi track and then the train would just cut out, which wasn't fun, but now it shouldn't need to. So next up, just a quick thing on these bushes. We've got 5 bushes along here now. Now I think these ones are made by Jarvis. I do believe they're made by Jarvis, and they're not too evenly spaced along there, along the ridge. But they give a nice effect. They're quite nice bushes. Now, I'm sure you can get more realistic ones and all that, but they'll probably stay. They're not stuck permanently in yet. They're wire ones, so they're quite nice. I prefer the wire ones. You literally just poke them into the polystyrene that's beneath the grass, and then just go. So they're not stuck in, but they look good. They give you something to look at on this hill. Now, you've probably been looking at this building and thinking, that wasn't there before, where's that one come from? And of course, it wasn't here before. This particular building here comes from scale scenes again, just like the furniture. Now, it's the same thing, it's literally a cutout, print it off, you buy the file for a very reasonable price, you print it off, you cut it out, you stick it on card and you make it up yourself. It's a bit harder than a Metcard kit to put together because you've got to cut it to all the size and everything. But it's that kind of style, and they look really nice once they've been built up. And like I say, you pay for it once and you can print as many off as you like. You've got unlimited. As long as you can print that many, you can print them. So this one was actually free. It's quite a nice kit. It comes with multiple different shutter doors. It's only a small building. It's a low relief one. We've actually edited it slightly to how it was, because it's actually deeper, the building, the real thing. It's deeper. Also, there's more detail on the roof. It's not just flat. But we decided to do it like this because it fits the scene nicely. It just fills that small gap behind the signal, and it just works the part. We're going to print off another. Well, we've printed off another one, and we're going to make that up here. Now, you'll probably notice there's not enough space for a full one. Now, we've got half one. What we've done is we've actually photoshopped this slightly. So we can cut that bit off. But what I've done is I've flipped the kit. Now, I've flipped it in a way that certain bits of it are not flipped. Like there's signage, for example. If I flip the whole thing, that sign would be backwards. Now, I've done it. I've actually flipped it so that it's not like that. So I've photoshopped it. I've cut just the bits I want of the kit. And I've turned it round. So now, we have this bit that you see there, except the office is on this side of the shutter. So I've done that myself. You'll see that in a different video. We're probably quite a long way from building that one up yet. But that one will go next to that. One thing other to mention, this in there does not come with the kit. I literally just typed in warehouse on Google and printed off a picture that looked good, and it does. It allows us to leave the shutter slightly open, but the colour of the floor actually matches quite well to the colour of the concrete outside. So, if you look at it at a right angle, you can't actually tell it doesn't go anywhere. So, we're really pleased with this building, considering it was free as well, completely free. It was a really good thing to do. You'll notice it's floating a bit. Now we can put some matchsticks under that and build up a little base for that to sit on. That's not a problem at all. But it just fills up that space nicely. Also, these junction boxes will not be sitting on their thing that we probably showed you in the last video, the brick thing. They'll be on the concrete of the building that sits here, and we'll make that into a railway engineering place so that they can literally go to work, come out the back of their warehouse and fix the boxes. So just a little industrial estate there. And also, this place here is probably also linked to the place over this side. It might have the same site. Might even be that they own all of these buildings and they're renting them out. You get the idea. Okay, so hidden away in a little corner in the far-flung internet is a little website called Monorail Scenery. And, to be honest, they're amazing. They do so many different accessories, so many buildings, all kinds of things. They're the same style of website as not Monorail Scenery, that is them. No, Scale Scenes. So the same type of website as Scale Scenes, as in you go to the website, you choose a product, and you buy it, download the file, and print it off as many times as you like. Which is exactly what we've done for these billboards, that you can see. This is just a printout. Cut it out, glue it together, just like the other ones, and Bob's your uncle, really. It's literally that simple. And they look so effective on the back here. We've got... There you go. We've got another one there. Now, this is how they come. They give you this, which you can use. You don't have to use it. What we've done is we've used this, and then we've put these adverts over the top of that. What you can do is you can just literally stick the advert straight onto the billboard. But, to be honest, if you ever want to change the advert, if you do it like this, then you can literally choose to not have an advert at all, and it will still look perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable. We have them every other bit that sticks up on the wall. So we have one here. There we go. And we have another one up there. Now, we do have space for one in there. You might just be able to see the gap. That bit of wall right there. In there. It's not focusing. It's focusing on the bit of wall outside. But the bit of wall in there, there is space for another one. Now, it took us a while, but eventually we got that one built. It's not been stuck on. So we might as well show you what the backs of them look like. That's what the backs look like. These supports here, as you can see, they stick up slightly. They are matchsticks again. Matchsticks come into this quite a lot, and coffee stirrers as well. They're used in this layout quite a lot. But they're matchsticks. They've got black paper wrapped around them, just to give them that effect. They're not painted. It gives you something to use to wrap, and you don't have to use matchsticks. They give you paper, which they say you can use, but matchsticks are a lot better really because they're stronger. If you use longer matchsticks, you can make it freestanding as well. It doesn't have to be mounted against the wall, and they give you instructions as to how you can change it so that it is wall mountable or non-wall mountable. So that is how they work, and they do look really effective, as you can see behind all this station clutter. I guess the next thing to talk about is the station clutter then. So the only thing, well, we don't actually have anything at all stuck down to the platform. The lamps are not stuck, that's why they're all higgledy-piggledy and all over the place. The person there, the information board, nothing's stuck down. So we're going to go through it. So now we've got lamps. We have a total of 7, I do believe. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 under there, making 7. We might put something else underneath that bit there. Give it a bit more light. Not sure yet. We'll have to see what happens with it. But they look really nice. We don't have one right at the very end of the platform, but to be honest, who's going to use that bit of platform? Train spotters, about it really. The trains generally even the S stock, that literally comes to about where these brute trolleys are. So moving on to the brute trolleys then, and this tractor unit. These are from Bachmann. These are from Bachmann, as I say. They're easy to get hold of. I think these trolleys are about a tenner. You get 2 in a pack. The tractor units, that is. You get 2 in a pack. These trolleys are, I think they're about £6-ish, 8. There might be a bit more, don't quote me on that. But, you get 4 in a pack for them. We need to get another pack. We currently have 4, and obviously the 2 tractor units, so we bought 1 pack of each. We're going to get some more trolleys. The rest of them are under there. You can see the trolleys. The tractor unit is on them. It is there. Might just about be able to tell. So yeah, 2 of them and 4 trolleys. These shelters, we weren't sure about how to do the shelters, so Bachmann have actually saved us on this one. We were thinking maybe we should put a canopy like halfway down this platform or something, but then Bachmann came out with these. They announced they were going to do these. Now, these are like NSE style platform shelters. They look really good. They're a modern feel to the layout. They can give you all the way back to, like I say, NSE period. They will do that just fine. We've got these Pico benches inside them. They might not stay. We might try and get something else. Something like a wire mesh bench for a similar period. There we go. You get 2 in a pack. 2 is all we need. 2 is literally all we need. So they're open one side, they close the other side. So we've got 1 facing one way, 1 facing the other way. As you can see. Here, we've got the train information board. Now, I love this personally. If it focuses on it. Come on. Come on. There, it's nearly there. It's nearly there. It's there enough, I guess. It's mainly focusing on the wall. Maybe I can trigger it to... There you go. It actually has destinations printed on it. I think they're Plymouth, London, and somewhere else. I can't remember now. It's got time printed on it. It's got expected train times printed on it. Unfortunately, it's only single platform, as you can see. So we have 2 of them as well. You buy them in singles. I think they're about £5 each. Buy them in singles. There's one up there for one platform, one up there for the other platform. I don't know if this is particularly right, having 2. I don't think it is. I've never seen it like that. They're usually on one pole. Now, they might be editable, to be honest. I was looking at them the other day. You might be able to cut the destination board off one of them and stick it onto the other pole. A lot of cobwebs on the lamp while I see them as well. That needs a bit of a dust, actually. But yeah, that might be possible. It might not be. I'm not sure. The flower boxes look really good still. They were just... I don't know if we've mentioned them. If we haven't mentioned them, then the flower boxes are done using glue put onto non-stick paper, and then just some static grass on the top. We then got some flower flock, just put it on the top, and then once it was dry, peeled them off, put them in the flower boxes. They look really effective now. This information board here is also Bachmann. You can tell a theme here, really. That comes in a pack. I can't remember how much that is. It's probably about £6, I'd imagine. That comes in a pack with a little board there for your station. So, to say there's a station here. It's got a BR logo on it as well. I'll show you that in a minute, probably. That's pretty much it. Oh, these bins. These bins are actually Hornby. Yeah, breaking the rule here. Hornby stuff. You get a pack of 3. You get 2 blue ones and 1 green one, which is... The green one is sitting up here somewhere. There. There it is. They look quite effective. I put the blue ones on the station because they match the blue of the canopies and also the brute trolleys. And this trolley's quite old. That probably won't stay. So that's the platform. The platform's been all not redone. The platform's in. But we've got all of the detailing on it now. There we go. Light for the end of the line. There's one at the back there which is not on at the moment. But it's looking really good. Got a North End wagon here. That's literally not left the layout at all. So from what I remember of the last video of this one, this really hasn't changed at all. We've still got the paving in the gap there. We've got these Victorian lamps which have been there for donkey's years now. These buildings have also been here for a very long time now. They can now be... we can cut the chimneys out and stick them to the back scene so that they actually look good there. We've got some grass on the end here, I've just remembered, which you might be interested in. There was a slight gap, so we just filled that in with grass. If you want to buy them, they come from these people. There you go. If you're interested in having a look, take a look and see what they've got. Street level models. They've got copyright on them, so don't go stealing them. But they look really good. Goes around the back there, round onto our street, which has not changed a bit, I don't think. We got the zebra crossing in. That might be new. That's been there for a while now, but I don't think it was there in the last video. These bollards, I don't know if they were there. We put the bollards down, and then we found we were missing one from the very back, which was annoying. When we got the bollard for the back, we then found it was a slightly different colour. You might be able to tell if I can get it to focus on them. These ones have a slight concrete look to them. That one's just plain. Let me show you the concrete look. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Focus, not the car. We don't want to see the car. We want to see the bollards. There. Just about, you could just about see it on that second one. It's got lots of different colours in it for them concrete. But the back one's just grey, which is annoying, but we put it at the back so it wouldn't notice too much. We've got the vehicles on the road still, we've got the police beacons, the front of the station, and that's about it really for this bit. Nothing's changed. The police beacons don't work at the moment, they're disconnected. They will be reconnected. The lamps are disconnected at the moment, they will also be reconnected. Okay, so that was the layout update. Sorry it's been a long time, like I say. Really wasn't supposed to be, but we had a few problems that I talked about earlier. That underground, by the way, should have its lights on. It doesn't. We've got a problem with the point. That's mostly why we did the electrics and the point at the front, because we're going to put them on all of them, with the switches, so that this problem does not happen. It's a problem with the pins on, with the what's it called? That piece. I can't think what it's called. The blade. That's it, the blade. It's a problem with the blade on the point, I do believe. It's not attaching to the rail as it should, so I have to hold it in order to get the train in and out, which is annoying. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. We might do a running session soon, hopefully. And I'd just like to say, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.